like never before with ESPN HD and ESPN2 HD. That's incredible. You'll feel the action with high definition. The picture is clear with ESPN HD and ESPN2 HD. Once you're there, you'll never go back.
Welcome back to the CEO Show. I'm Sheila Harrison, your host. I'm also publisher of the Houston Business Guide, your access to Houston's top executives. Visit our website that's on the screen right now. Visit and see how we can help you build your business. Today I'm talking to Dick Huiras. Did I get it right?
You got it right.
I got it right. At H&A International and ISC Connect. And you've talked about how you started your H&A International, which is your consulting firm. How did ICS Connect get going?
ICS Connect was born out of a need that I found. And we've been talking about entrepreneurs going from managing a company to leading a company.
Right.
One of the issues that a lot of senior level executives have is when they go into this visionary thing, they tend to lose touch with the company. And even in the managers who are managing, really are not able to communicate with the employees really well. Take communication out of a company is going to fail. There's just, I mean, if one ever makes it, I don't know how they would have done it. When I was teaching leadership development training at the University of Houston, I came to the realization that when we send our leaders to leadership schools, and I don't care if it's Harvard or Thunderbird or Rice University, and they are all absolutely fabulous leadership training programs, when they would come back to the workplace, they had a significant impact on about 25% of the people. And then there was another like-sized group that they had a little bit of impact on, and then there was this large group, which I'm sure all of you out there are familiar with, who they've had no impact, and they coined the phrase, the managers went to leadership school, give them a couple of weeks, it'll be back to normal again, and that's really where they want to be. Okay. So my question was, why did 25% of the people connect and the rest of them not? So I went back to Jung. I knew Carl Jung had the answer, did a lot of research, and Jung really had the answer for me because he taught, and his typology was about what energizes and de-energizes you. And I'm sure everybody out there that's listening have people in their life that jobs that they do, environments that they're in that just energize them. They look forward to doing it. It just makes their day. And then there are other people in your life, and these can be the most intelligent, nicest people you know. When you hear their footsteps walking down the hallway, you jump in the closet just so they don't stop by and talk to you. 5 minutes with them, 5 minutes in that environment, 5 minutes doing that job drains you to the point you got to go home and take a nap. So the question is, why does that happen? That's when ICS Connect was born. And it was born to teach you how to, when you have a conversation with someone, how to keep that person connected to you long enough to raise a level of trust to a point they're willing to let you influence them.
Which has to happen.
Which
to run
absolutely has to happen. Because I'm sure that all of you out there have gone to some kind of a party networking group or something, and you started talking to somebody and you disconnected, and 80% of the time you disconnect subconsciously. Anything they said or did after that really made no difference to you anymore. And if your level of trust in them didn't raise enough where you're willing to be influenced, nothing they can say or do will ever do that. And that's what's happening in much of the workforce. ICS Connect, I gave it birth as an entrepreneur 13 years ago. We have taken it to a level where now we get people accredited in using it. That happened 2 years ago. I put a plan together as an entrepreneur and a manager in managing ICS Connect, and I said, this is where I want to be in 2010. Now, I either don't plan really well or something has happened because we're already there.
Woo, congratulations.
I figured in 2010, we'd be in at least 15, represented in 15 states and 4 foreign countries. We're in 17 states and 3 foreign countries.
Congratulations.
I figured in 2010 we'd have our first business conference. That's happening in February of 2008 because it's necessary. But the growth has caused me to do what I teach other people to do, go from managing ICS Connect and developing it. And I now must move to visionary. Prior to this, I've been doing all the accreditations myself because I developed it. I now have to create master associates, accredited associates, so they can do the accreditations for me because I just don't have time. If I stay in managing this company will never grow. It's at its peak. I now must move to leadership style and lead so that this company becomes something that
So
my
you'll
goal,
be your own client.
I'm going to be my own client. Absolutely.
That's
Now
going to be
I'll see how
interesting.
good I am.
Yeah, you'll see how good you are.
But if I'm going to do what I want this company to do, that's what's going to have to happen.
Yeah. Well, that's exciting. Tell us what the I and the C and the S stand for.
Okay, ICS stands for Interpersonal Connection Styles.
Okay.
Okay, and it was called ICS until somebody said you need to put Connect behind there. Well, I fought that all the way because it was ICS, and I listened to them, and it was a good move. But ICS Connect again, it just allows you to understand how you connect with people and what causes you to connect or disconnect, and then teaches you what if your boss or your client, let's take it to the entrepreneur world, what if your client sees you as one of those people that de-energizes them?
Not good.
Not good. What if you don't know how to move to their energy so they see you the way they see themselves? You will never get that kind.
To their operating style, their personality style.
Yeah, not even personalities. Personalities, in my opinion, in my studies, comes from a nurture side.
Oh, okay.
I can change your personality. Events can change your personality. ICS Connect is built on Jung's theory, what comes natural to us. We don't change that. That will not change in our entire lifestyle. It'll move around a little bit because it's fluid.
What are you have 4 identified?
We have four identifiers, and in about 30 seconds I can tell you what they are. We have one style, which is gap analysis. People see the world from gap analysis. If you're the client, or if they're your client, if you don't see that same gap analysis with them, if you don't understand that, disconnect. I don't want to deal with this person anymore. They obviously don't understand what's really important here. You have another style, and these can be also leadership styles, where a logical process is everything. Not necessarily analytical, but it's a logical process.
A sequential kind of thing.
Sequential type of thing. And they understand that if you have a process and you use it over and over again, you significantly increase your ability to be successful. They're not too sure whether those gap analysis people got it right by accident or because it really was planned. Then you have another style, which is the new experiences and new ideas, creating new things. As soon as they create, they go on to the next thing.
They get bored with it.
Oh, absolutely. If you give them a process to do every single day, they'll come up with 6 different ways to do it in the next month. And the client may say, oh, no, I don't want you changing how we do things. We've been doing it this way for 50 years. And you go, yeah, but you're behind the times. They don't care. It's the process that's important.
And that's a disconnect in the communication.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. If they think you're trying to change what they've done, they disconnect from you in a heartbeat.
And you disconnect from them because you can't understand why they don't want to do something better.
Yeah, get out of the cave world. This is 2001 or 21st century.
Yeah.
There is another group where honesty is everything. They want to know that your company supports, cares, and shares. They're supporting and caring of their employees. They want to know that you're willing to share what it is they need to share. They want to know that you are 100% honest. You go right down the middle of the road. You ever step on either one of the side, they tend to disconnect from you immediately. If you ever display to them that, you just make the employees do it. This is the way it needs to be. You just make them do it. They'll do it or get someone else. They've disconnected from you a bit. Because see, when we have a conversation with somebody, 3 things must happen. They must be willing to listen. They must retain information, and they must continue to raise their level of trust in you. Once you disconnect, those three things go away. Anything you do or say after that means nothing.
They discount it.
No, it's not even discounted. Matter of fact, the level, they may not
even hear it.
They may not even hear it.
Whoa.
It's reason why we go into the workplace and we have a meeting. And if our style is very gap analysis, and you've got an employee, it's a very process driven, they're going to disconnect from you. And it's the reason why you go to an employee and say, have you done what I wanted you to do? And they go, what? Well, I need you to do this. When did you tell me to do that? In the meeting yesterday, weren't you there? Yeah, I was there. But they disconnected, and it just went straight on through. It really helps eliminate entrepreneurs, especially, from having to take, how many entrepreneurs out there take 5 steps backwards to get 6 steps forward? It comes from that right there. And it really helps conflict, criticism, and anger. It helps leaders reconnect with the people that are going to make their company follow their vision. Because see, it doesn't do any good for the leader to go out there and have all this visionary if the company's still sitting back there someplace.
And can't hear him.
And can't hear him or her.
So this leader must learn to, before he opens his mouth, think about the lifestyle of that individual they're going to talk to.
The communication style of that person.
The communication style.
And what causes them to stay connected.
Talk to him in that language.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
you can teach people to do this.
Oh, absolutely. We've been doing it for 14 years and doing it very successfully. Matter of fact, we have a new motto for it. It used to be the ICS Connect program. And a client came to me 3 months ago and said, and this is where you talk about successes, said, this is not a communication problem. A communication program. This is a communication lifestyle program. He said, since you have introduced this program into our company, our people communicate differently every single day. And they will remind each other about how they like to perceive the world and talk to. And matter of fact, they'll tell them, if you're going to go talk to so-and-so, you better have an agenda ahead of time. You better give them that. You better have a process in mind, and you better tell them exactly how you're going to do it, or they're going to disconnect from you.
In order. Yeah.
In order. And he says it's amazing how we've changed the perception of the people in this organization. And we get along. Conflict, criticism, and anger has almost disappeared in this company.
That is amazing.
And I thought, so you will see on our advertising and materials that we send out, the heading says, a communication lifestyle program, because it truly changes how people communicate in a company.
And because we can use this with our kids and our in-laws and everybody that we need to communicate more effectively.
For 25 years, I've been doing premarital coaching. I give it to, they take the assessment and learn the program. So couples learn how to communicate with each other. Because it's all about
irritating each other.
Yeah. We like to tell people it's about money. You know, divorces are 52% in the United States today. And we say number one thing is money. And I don't think it's nearly as much about money as it is about how we communicate about money.
Yeah.
It's not about not having enough money. It's not about spending it in the wrong places. It's about never communicating about how that process works. So we think we have a partner off spending money foolishly, and I don't know the process by which you're doing that, and the other one's going, what difference does it make? Gap analysis. I needed a dress. I bought it. So yeah, it really has made a big difference. There are a lot of great programs out there. We differ from the other ones because we look at that one piece. It's that tube, that pipeline that connects me to you, and what I need to do to keep you connected until you're willing to let me influence you. And that's when leaders become extremely powerful, because now they've got people who are back here running their company, following where they need to go. Without question, with a high level of trust in the leader. That it's kind of like in the military. You hear military men would say, well, if he jumped off the cliff, I'd just jump right off after him. They have so much trust.